Hey, it's Josh.
And Aaron.
We would like your help to grow our channel.
If we can grow to 8,000 subscriptions,
we're going to give you this Indominus box.
The rules are simple. Subscribe to the channel now, and when we reach 8,000 subscribers, we're going to put out a special thank you video. Everybody who comments on that video will be entered to win this Indominus box.
Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button.
Will people follow?
I hope so.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of I Should Be Painting. Today we are going to be talking about the secrets of Game Workshop's business strategy. They're actually not so secret. Remember, if you want to help us get to 8,000 subscribers so that we can give away the Indominus box set, please do subscribe. We are still showing that about 50 to 60% of people who watch our videos, even some of them all the way through, are still not subscribed. So if you haven't subscribed, now is a great time because I would love to give this box away. So with that, we are actually going to spend most of this video on the computer, and as always, we'll be taking a look at our 3 featured creators at the end. Well, here we are at the computer once again, and you might be asking yourself, if we are talking about Games Workshop's business strategy, why are we at Magic the Gathering? That doesn't make any sense. We are at Magic the Gathering because recently I learned about what Wizards of the Coast calls its core goals for research and development. And they have come up with this fun acronym called FIRE, F.I.R.E, which stands for, F is for fun, I is for inviting, R is for replayability, and E is for exciting. This is sort of a mantra that Magic has come out with in order to help guide the principles of their new cards and make people more aware of how they are making decisions. Now, this article goes on to talk about what cards they think is fun and what things aren't fun and whatnot, but the point is that once I learned about this, I immediately thought, what is Games Workshop's core values or core goals? Have they published anything? Do they talk about it? Do we know anything about it? Or is it just all inference from what we see popping up in our game stores and from all of the conversations that we have? I think that we can all agree that one of our favorite aspects of the hobby is not just buying, painting, and playing, but also talking about Games Workshop. You might be aware that Games Workshop has a website, gamesworkshop.com, where you can purchase all of your wonderful Games Workshop stuff. You are probably also aware that they have recently come out with the Warhammer40,000.com website in order to promote Warhammer 40,000, probably into the future, but specifically for the new 9th edition. You should also be aware that they have come out with Warhammer Community, which is a article-driven resource for informing the community about new things. But what you might not be aware of is that Games Workshop has another website called investor.games-workshop.com. Now, one of the amazing things about Games Workshop that's actually very different than Magic the Gathering is that Games Workshop has managed to be a global gaming force who essentially makes tabletop games, who has not been subsumed, sold, bought out, taken over by any super mega giant corpse like Dungeons and Dragons has with I believe Hasbro, and the way that Magic the Gathering has as well. So many things these days get put into these massive conglomerates that just wind up, I think, all being owned by Disney. But I wonder how long till Disney owns Magic. Anybody want to make a bet? Maybe Netflix will buy it, I don't know, or Amazon. The point is that Games Workshop is a publicly traded company, and they have taken the active step of having a open-ended web page that allows you to read exactly what they're telling you their business model is and exactly what their core values are and what they are working on. Now, big disclaimer here, I'm not judging what Games Workshop is saying. I am not going to say, I think what they are doing is good, or I think what they are doing is bad, or I think that the way that they're saying it here is not the way they actually represent themselves out in the world. I am just saying that if you want to know what Games Workshop's business strategy is, it's not a secret. It is published all the way down to their annual financial reports, which you can get annually or you can look at every 6 months. We're going to take a look at one. I'm not going to go through it because it's a lot of numbers, but we are going to take a look at, I think, probably the 3 most important pages and sort of talk about the things that stand out. So first of all, they have a page called Our Business Model, and they say their business model is a very simple strategy. We make the best fantasy miniatures in the world to engage and inspire our customers and to sell our products globally at a profit. We intend to do this forever. Our decisions are focused on long-term success and not short-term gains. Now, that's just the opening paragraph of their business model. And I think that we can all agree that they have had long-term success. I believe that they are a profitable company. I don't know if everybody agrees that the models that come out and the rules that come out and the pricing for those models are always focused on long-term success and not short-term gains, but at least we know that part of their business model is that everything should be based on long-term success and not short-term gains. They also go on to say that they are not a retailer. Even though they have retail outlets, those locations are to have customers engage with the hobby, to collect and paint, but they are not a means to an end. They are in fact a means to their manufacturing business, which is what they sort of consider themselves, their core to be a manufacturing business and a business that is passionate about a hobby. Now, I'm not going to read this entire page for you. I think that you should, however, read it yourself, particularly if you have mixed feelings about what the company does, if there are things that you particularly like or particularly you don't like. This might answer some of those questions for you. You might realize, hey, you know what they're doing actually aligns with what they're telling people that they're doing, or you know what they're doing really doesn't align with what they're telling people they're doing, and we probably should have a conversation about it. However, the things that are important to note here is that they will defend their intellectual property, that they are known for quality, and that they very much enjoy the hobby themselves, and that they want to help independent retail shops. So a lot of these things are not, coming out of left field. They shouldn't be revelations to you, but it is nice to know that Games Workshop has a place where you can actually go and read their business model. They also have a section that details their history, which I found to be very, very interesting. First of all, they are the largest, most successful hobby miniatures company in the world. I don't know by what count they are doing that on, but I assume that they have some sort of metric in order to do that. And they point out that they are a global company with global reach that needs to be truly international, with 70% of their sales coming from outside of the UK. And they say the most important thing we do is design. We make and sell fantastical miniature soldiers and associated models. So the making and the designing is the most important thing that they do. They're telling you that right there, for better or for worse. They also go back, into how it began and things like that. Now, the most interesting page for me, the Games Workshop hobby. Once you get past these 3 pages, our business model, our history, and the Games Workshop hobby, the rest of the investor relations information is pretty standard corporate stuff that we're not going to go into, voting rights and advertising and fiscal calendars and all of that. I'm not interested in going into that. I'm interested in understanding what Games Workshop business model is, at least what they're telling everybody it is. The Game Workshop's hobby: collecting, modeling, painting, and gaming with the best model soldiers in the world. Right off the bat, I think they nailed what they're doing. Collecting. They want people to collect their models. And they want people to collect their models for different reasons. They want different appeals for them. Some are inspired by dramatic histories and stories or care about character-minded, and others, maybe the majority, like to assemble mighty armies and fight with them or put them on display. This part right here, I think, is incredible, because if there, a lot of times when there's controversy, you know, about Games Workshop and what their intentions are and what you can do with them and how you're supposed to play the game, the fact that they have this section called modeling in a description of their hobby, I think is incredible. And I'm just going to read this for you. Building and converting models and creating fantastical landscapes in miniatures to complement them in an engaging pastime that rewards skill and patience. Our models are supplied with a number of different forms, from simple one-piece models to complex kits comprising dozens of finely detailed parts. Many kits can be completed in 2 or more alternate configurations and often incorporate extra optional features. Assembling the more complex kits may require a degree of modeling skill, but even the simplest of our models lend themselves to being adapted and customized by the building hobbyist to suit their own taste. And the part that I like the most is "and customized." Games Workshop business model is really not a secret. They know that it's about collecting, they know that it's about modeling, they know that it's about painting, and they know that it's about gaming. And I think that everybody who has an opinion about Games Workshop, which is probably everybody who's watching this, should definitely come here to investors.gamesworkshop.com and take a read at these pages. Well, now it's time to stop analyzing the company that makes our miniatures and take a look at the people who take those miniatures and make them awesome. So let's move right on over to our 3 featured creators for this week. So here we are once again on Instagram, taking a look at all of the amazing things on Instagram. It is incredible to me how many people are doing such fantastic things for our hobbies. I ran into this person on Facebook and he led me over to his Instagram. His Instagram is Ravenwood Terrain, and he has made this deliciously hilarious Ratburger Rex from Pest to the Best Dungeons and Dragons miniature bar and grill serving, of course, what I assume is definitely cow. I thought this is not only executed with some absolute brilliance, these tiny little cups and the black paint on the back, the way that he makes it look like it's actually cooking, all the little details that are going on, but just the cleverness to come up with something so fun is awesome. You kill him, we grill him. This project brought much enjoyment to me, so much laughter, and I had to share it with everybody. So if you are not following Ravenwood Terrain, you should follow immediately. Next up, we are back at Facebook. Now this is a work in progress, and it is a Tyranid Titan. But what struck me so much about this build is that a long time ago, when I first started thinking about painting Tyranids, I wanted to get a sort of speckled, spotted, beetle-like look, and I was never able to achieve it. But now Hans, he told me this is a work in progress, and you can actually see the different stages that has been going through. This is marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. The colors that you chose, going from the light all the way to the dark, flow beautifully. It looks absolutely organic and natural. It looks the way that you would expect sort of like a shell crazy monster to look. All of the details and all of the colorings, all of the layerings, the bit of pink that comes out in the teeth that matches these little sort of like pods that are in the back plate. Just everything works together so brilliantly. I think this is one of my favorite Nid bug paint schemes to date. This one's awesome. You got to check it out. So go ahead and I will set a link for which Facebook group you can find this in, and I can't wait to see it 100% complete. Thank you so much for letting me share it. Next, we are going over to Legion of the Bland. I thought it was originally Legion of the Blade, but it's not. It's Legion of the Bland, and he has done, oh, something so beautiful. So beautiful. So simple seeming, but absolutely executed to perfection. We've taken a look at this sort of style in the past, this sort of comic book style Borderlands style seems to be bubbling up all over the place. It's definitely been used a lot with the Marvel Crisis Protocol figurines, and now it's sort of making its way, or at least apparently to me, it's making its way into 40k and other hobbies. But Legion of the Blade took the dozer off of an orc and he cartoonified it, and I think that this is incredible, particularly right here. I know it doesn't look like much, but right here is absolute mastery. We can see the light fade gray, right, that goes into the top, that's defining both the edge and the flat surface, as well as the black hash marks, and then a black undertone in order to take this three-dimensional piece and make it look two-dimensional, but make it look two-dimensional in 3 dimensions, and doing all of that from a color shade difference to light gray to dark gray. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is totally inspiring. I would love to see an entire orc army painted like this. And if there is any army in Warhammer that goes well with the cartoony Borderlands look, I think orcs is the army. So I hope that you keep this up. Well, everyone, thank you so much again for joining us on another episode of I Should Be Painting. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell button so you never miss an update. We are so close to 8,000 subscribers, and boy oh boy do we have some fantastic videos coming out. There is a build that is coming out on Tuesday that is related to my next competition, which is with Terrainaholic. We're going to be doing a styrofoam build off. I'm going to get my butt whooped in that because he is the styrofoam master. Of course, we are still giving away the Indominus box set as soon as we hit 8,000 subscribers. So if you've made it this far in the video and you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, not only to help our channel grow, not only because it would be a really great thing for you to do, not only because it's free, but also because you might win a really awesome box full of miniatures, and who doesn't want that? So until next time, this has been Aaron from CGN, and we'll see you on the table.